Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Shaolin Soccer, a Hong Kong sports comedy movie from 2001 that stars Stephen Chow, who also directed it. Golden Leg Fung, a young Hong Kong soccer star, lines up for a penalty kick near the end of a game. He misses, resulting in his team's loss. Angry spectators run onto the field, beat him, and break his leg. 20 years later, Fung, played by Ng Man-tat, walks with a limp and is mistreated by a man named Fung, who is now a successful businessman. When Fung asks to coach Fung's soccer team, the man mocks him. While drinking his sours in the streets, Fung comes across Sing, played by Stephen Chow, a Shaolin Kung Fu master who wants to promote the practical benefits of the martial art to the world. No one takes kung fu classes from Sing, however, as he is dirty and poor. At first disdainful, Fung soon discovers the power of Sing's leg and offers to coach him in soccer. Compelled by the idea of promoting kung fu throughout soccer, Sing asks his former Shaolin brothers to join the team. So yes, the opening scene in this is pretty eventful. It shows this golden leg Fung guy as a young kid, basically, missing the big shootout kick, and the villain enjoying his defeat with mustache-twirling laughter. They even transition from that moment to present day in like a single blended shot. It's pretty good. And the story does have a few interesting twists along the way. Like, there's one huge bomb that's dropped within the opening 5 minutes related to that pivotal missed kick. And the actor who plays the antagonist, Patrick C., or Che, I think is the pronunciation, was also the bad guy in Color of the Truth, which I reviewed not too long ago. But he does have a long history of movies under his belt, like many of the actors here. I mean, Chow tends to cast a healthy number of veteran actors in his movies, which is nice to see. But in any case, Patrick Che's character is hilariously smug and even uses Ng Man-tat's head as like a shoe shine rack during like the opening minutes. And his character almost reminded me of like Biff Tannen from Back to the Future, who rules over the father character in that movie and disrespects him endlessly. All of this driven by like a key event when both were younger. So that's kind of a similar situation here. It's effective. Now, Shaolin Soccer is a vehicle for pure entertainment. Its runtime is only 1 hour and 28 minutes long. The plot progresses pretty fast. I mean, Ng Man-tat meets Stephen Chow within the opening like 10 minutes. And then whatever setup time we have after that, before like the first soccer practice, is compensated with fun themes, like how kung fu could be used in everyday life. In fact, that's probably the key element to the movie. It's explored through manual labor, cooking, and even a Kool and the Gang song that I forgot was in this because I haven't seen this in a while. The underlying concepts of like kung fu are emphasized during the final soccer match, which is a pretty cool, I guess, final moment in that match, as well as some scenes that finish off the movie after the match ends. And that's pretty neat, and it gives this, sports movie its own niche, which makes it memorable. This movie has personality, so to speak, which is great to see because, a lot of movies, especially nowadays, are kind of interchangeable, and they lack a distinct identity that links them to their director, whereas Stephen Chow has a pretty specific style of humor. It's very identifiable, although perhaps a little bit difficult to describe exactly. You could describe it as like deadpan, sarcastic, and ridiculous at the same time, And this movie is a pretty great showcase for his style of comedy. A lot of chuckle-worthy scenes and stuff that are peppered throughout. So again, the blending of soccer and kung fu is a big sell for this. And the comedy's creative and entertaining despite the use and heavy use of CGI that creates a completely cartoonish and outrageous environment at times. I'm usually not into like this style of special effects, but it works for this movie, And funnily enough, the first time I saw a clip from this movie, I was at a television electronics store in America that displayed some big screen televisions for sale. And they decided to showcase these new television sets by playing clips or trailers from this movie. And I still remember that because at the time I wasn't familiar with this movie. So that's a fun historical moment for me. As a sports movie, it delivers. The first scrimmage game has a few fun moments because the opposing team decides to get physical in certain ways, and even to the point of showing an actual war scene during the match. The subsequent montage of soccer matches after our protagonists actually get pretty good, improve their skills, is fun and actually has some neat superhuman abilities. These matches include crazy aerial maneuvers, soccer ball manipulation tactics, and elemental power shots and stuff. We also get a few cameos from some popular actresses during one of those matches, which was neat. And then the big finale provides the biggest challenge, which is what you want in a sports movie, because the bad guys inject themselves with American drugs. I mean, of course. And that makes them equally as powerful as our protagonists. So it's pretty lengthy, highly satisfying final match, and it's exactly what you would want from a kung fu soccer movie if you thought about it in your head. So I would say, Shaolin Soccer, it holds up. It's a must-watch if you haven't seen it. I don't really have a lot of criticisms. I would say, maybe they could have spaced out the soccer matches a little bit more throughout the runtime. They kind of backload most of them during the second half. And the humor, it is on the wacky side, which may not land for all viewers, but neither one of those things is a big deal for me, so I strongly recommend this. And it's currently available streaming on YouTube and Amazon. And as always, I'll see you next time.